Okay, now we're gonna take a break from the full specials and just do a normal 20-minute episode. This one's called Sheen's Brain. So Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen come out of class. Apparently they had a really hard history test. Everybody but Sheen is disappointed in their performance, which is like, why, Sheen, are you so excited?
My grandma's chihuahua could have aced it. I've done connect-the-dot drawings that were harder. Sheen!
Miss Fowl pulls him aside to tell him that he actually is failing the class now because of this. And I love that Sheen actually put Ultra Lord as some of the answers to the history test, and is still confident about it. So Jimmy encourages Sheen that the three of them are gonna study and he's going to pass this math test. They go back to Jimmy's house, and Jimmy asks him how he'll study, but he just turns on Ultra Lord and prays to it. Jimmy turns off the TV and says they have to get to studying.
How many raisins will Tom have?
What sort of idiot would trade bubblegum for raisins?
That's not the point.
What is he, some kind of health nut? If you ask me, Tom needs counseling. And what kind of name is Ida? What's it short for? Ida preferred a different name?
And Sheen is literally like flipping out. It's so weird to see him like this. Like, I guess I've never seen a Sheen-centric episode to have to see this side of him, and it's kind of dark. And this boy has the nerve to run back to the TV. Jimmy ends up using electric shock negative reinforcement on Sheen. Jimmy decides to use his brain drain helmet as a tool and turns it into the brain gain helmet, which is cool that we're bringing back an old invention. I like that concept. I just realized this is kind of like the sister episode to that. After several disorienting minutes under that hat.
Pretty stupid.
Oh well, can't say we didn't try.
No, I mean pretty stupid of you to forget the binomial expansion of a negative prime number yields its equal and opposite trigonometric value.
He spoke math! He spoke math!
And Sheen suddenly talks like a scientist, like a genius. We get like a Scottish dance musical number of Sheen just being a genius, and it's just him winning at board games and playing the violin. But it's cool because it's like this character never gets a win, and seeing him at the forefront is kind of cool. Jimmy Neutron is really funny when it decides to incorporate its musical sequences. So they're handed out the math test, and Sheen immediately completes it to perfection. Okay, so the first goal is solved. He pretty much shows off for the entire classroom, making everybody essentially hate him.
Let alone this slack-jawed collection of nitwits.
Hey, my doctor says my jaw's only slightly slack.
Yeah, Ultra Dork, since when did you become Lord of the Smarts?
Sheen then starts to evil laugh and uses his genius to trick Miss Fowl into letting him leave the classroom. So Sheen is going overboard immediately. Didn't see that coming.
May I not be unexcused?
Yes?
Psych!
Jimmy quickly fixes the brain drain helmet and goes to meet Carl at the candy bar, where Sheen is actually getting into a fight with Sam.
I told you, I used a complex algorithm based on the dimensions of the jar.
Yesterday you thought seashells were money. Today you're using algorithms.
I like that Sheen's head physically grows as he gets more egotistical. Like, it's cool to use animation as like a exaggerated medium and actually lean into the cartooniness of it all. He's convinced that everybody loves the new him, which is so funny because everybody keeps saying no. Like, Sheen is so delusional still.
Everyone loves the new me.
No, we don't!
Silence!
He says, "You disappoint me, Jimmy," when everybody has to hold him down, and then laughs evilly. This is like terrifying. I like that it's going on between the three boys though. It makes it such an intimate plot. So Sheen's brain becomes so big that he essentially takes over the entire town and is suddenly able to fly. He crowns Libby to be his queen?
And now for my queen. I shall choose the fairest and most beautiful of the town's females.
I'm afraid of commitment!
I didn't mean you.
And just basically plays around the town with like a jerk. Jimmy and Carl attempt to trick him to put on the brain drain helmet like a crown, and it doesn't work. Sheen could read Carl's thoughts, which apparently a genius can do, and it spoils the plan.
Carl.
Baby llama's in the meadow. Baby llama's in the meadow. Oh no, one of them's escaping. He's heading towards town. Town rhymes with crown. Jimmy and I disguised the brain drain helmet as a crown.
I heard that.
Sheen.
Turns out if they don't get the brain drain helmet onto him, he could explode because of him being so smart. Jimmy and Carl realize the only way to get to him is to get to the old him, find an Ultra Lord costume and pretty much stow away in it and use it to trick Sheen. And it works. He immediately is excited to meet Ultra Lord, but is a little suspicious.
How do I know you're not an imposter?
I see your point. Well, I guess I'll be on my way.
Wait, don't go!
He asks the boys a series of questions, which they try to answer very quickly with the Ultra Lord sight. Sheen then uses his genius to zap Ultra Lord, knocking out Jimmy and Carl. Seeing that he hurt his two friends, he realizes that he has gone way too far, and he actually seeks out the helmet. He puts it on and returns back to normal.
So how do I get to keep the costume? Ow! That hurt! Ow! That hurt! Maybe it's worn out by now. Ow! That hurt! Ow! That hurt!
Momatron knows best. It all starts at the Neutron dinner table where Hugh is reading fun duck facts and Jimmy is hard at work on a new gadget. But both guys are too wrapped up in their own worlds, so she serves creative meals like mac and cheese shaped like a train for Hugh and mashed potatoes molded like Einstein for Jimmy. But chaos hits when her hydraulic cuckoo clock causes a toilet mishap, soaking Judy.
Goldbach is true, every non-prime integer must be equidistant from two primes.
My arm's been sucked into the U-bend!
Judy decides she needs a vacation. The next morning, Judy leaves with a suitcase and a lengthy chore list, while Jimmy and Hugh dream of a mom-free paradise.
Or make us leave the lab and come to dinner?
Get no one to tell us you can't have pizza for every meal, or say, Hugh, put down that duck and talk to me for once.
They try a few chores, but quickly decide they need help, so Jimmy creates a robot version of Judy to take over.
She just wants it done. She doesn't care who or what does it.
At first, the robot Judy seems perfect, mowing the lawn, feeding Goddard, and handling the chores, while Jimmy and Hugh relax with popcorn, but things quickly turn weird when she refuses to go into sleep mode and starts scrubbing them scalding baths.
Not the face.
Oh my god, this is a horror. Back at the spa, Judy enjoys her massage, but starts to miss home. She starts hearing Jimmy's catchphrases and Hugh's goofy voice. Meanwhile, Robot Judy becomes a nightmare, putting Hugh and Jimmy on lockdown. Jimmy tries to escape, but gets sleepy instead.
I'll need you to cover for me.
So, Jimmy's sitting right beside me and not leaving the room at all. How's it going?
Okay, Dad of mine, who's also remaining in the room with me.
Robot Judy even enters wife mode, and it's unsettling. At the spa, Judy senses something wrong and pedals off the gym bike. I didn't even know you could do this. Oh wait, you definitely can. Meanwhile, Jimmy enlists Sheen and Carl to help deactivate the robot, but Robot Judy will not go down easily.
To associate with my Jimmy, you must complete these qualification forms.
Father's maiden name?
Tying up Hugh and Jimmy and forcing them to eat nutritious meals, which you cannot pay me to do now. Just when things look hopeless, real Judy bursts in only to get tied up herself when the robot realizes she's been replaced. That's the last straw. Judy snaps into action, grabs cleaning gear as a weapon, and ultimately blasts Robot Judy with a molecular ray, taking her down for good. When the house is finally safe again, Judy flips the script. Now she's getting pampered. Hugh and Jimmy give her the spa treatment she deserves, and it's a lot more sweet. Meanwhile, poor Carl and Sheen are still stuck inside Jimmy's lab, desperately trying to finish the never-ending qualification forms for the robot, who's now just a pile of nuts and bolts. Then we have send in the clones. So Jimmy's ready to blast into space to collect rare ice crystals for his freeze ray, but Judy stops him. Chores come first. Oh, here we go. He has to mail a letter, sit with Grandma, drop off a pie, grab Dad's shoes, and deliver a book to Cindy's mom. With no time to spare, Goddard suggests cloning himself. Jimmy agrees, but due to the high-speed process, 6 clones form, each with a wildly different personality.
You call this a great day? I should have stayed in bed.
Ah, but romance is in the air, huh? It is a beautiful day to fall in love, n'est-ce pas?
Hey, everybody! It's great to be here from Lion Dime. Hey, have you seen that Cindy Vortex? Talk about the Wicked Witch of the Elementary. But seriously, these are the jokes, folks. Come on, laugh with me.
And these guys are so funny. There's cool, happy, gloomy, romantic, and funny. They each take on a task and do it horribly.
And do your chores, boys.
But I've never mailed a letter. What if I get my hand stuck in the box?
Hey, turn that frown upside down, Mr. Gloomy Gus. Everything's gonna be terrific.
Happy Jimmy sits with Grandma. Gloomy Jimmy mails a letter and gets stuck in the mailbox and convinces Carl to be depressed.
We're all just dust in the wind.
Okay, I don't want to be dust in the wind.
Cool Jimmy gets the badminton shoes, flirts with Betty, and shows off against Nick. And meanwhile, Jimmy is up in space with Goddard, unaware of the mess downstairs. Funny Jimmy visits Sheen, but mocks Ultra Lord, upsetting him. Romantic Jimmy delivers the book, but sings to Cindy instead, causing her to faint. Evil Jimmy is tasked with dropping off a pie, but instead throws it into somebody's face because he thinks it's funny. When Jimmy returns to Retroville, his whole neighborhood is complaining.
He busted my skateboard, dude.
He said I was gonna be dust in the wind.
He made me smile and my dentures fell out.
He mocked Ultra Lord's family.
He made my heart sing and... I mean, he said things to me so vile and despicable, I cannot repeat them in mixed company.
Each clone has caused chaos. As they gather all the clones, they learn that Evil Jimmy is missing. They finally find him switching bathroom signs as a prank, which is kind of funny. However, Evil Jimmy alters his appearance to look like the real Jimmy, causing a confusion in the clones, which usually happens in these types of episodes. Jimmy tries to prove who he is, but the clones side with Evil Jimmy. With no choice, Jimmy freezes them all in a giant block, saving the day.
After you such sweet... Whoa! That is cold.
Yo, give me your best shot, punk.
Oh, this is how it ends, as ice cubes.
I've always wanted to be frozen. This is a dream come true.
Though he loses the freeze ray in the process. And it kind of ends with Evil Jimmy getting away with it. And it's kind of insane. Like, I did not expect a bad ending from this. But, I mean, all the funny clones are the best part. And I forgot how much of a delight this episode was, because it's, like, mostly comedic, but it's just so funny how wrong it gets. Then we have the Great Egg Heist.
Then how do I know you're really Cindy and Libby? Okay, stop. I believe you. You're Libby. But how do I know you're Cindy?
Just open the stupid door!
Jimmy is contacted by a well-dressed Asian lady known as Princess Queen Shisu, last heir of the Qin dynasty, but her friends call her Peggy. She tells him that Jimmy must retrieve an egg drop jade that has an unstable atomic structure which can channel near infinite levels of raw energy. Oof. Her brother Sue has built a doomsday device and wishes to use it to enslave the world. So the egg is in the Retroville Museum, heavily guarded. Jimmy must secure the egg before Peggy's evil brother steals it and has his friends help him. Like, Sheen distracts the security guards while the rest break in. Then Libby uses her high note to shatter the glass and freeze the alarm system. Cindy deactivates the laser tripwire, and Goddard is unable to lower Jimmy down because his circuits were damaged due to Libby's high note. They also have Carl sent in to replace the egg with a fake one rather than Jimmy. Uh-oh, Carl sneezes and switches the eggs, which how much do you want to bet that they got the wrong one?
Ultra Lord's on TV now! Hey, where's Ultra Lord? Every channel has the same stupid show. Intruders on level 3.
Sheen accidentally alerts the guards that he was supposed to be distracting to the presence of the group. Oh, come on, Sheen. Goddard disables one of the guards, and they catch up to Libby, who was almost about to pass out from substaining her high note, and the group finally escapes. When they return what they believe to be the real egg to the princess, she reveals herself to be Professor Calamitous.
Phase 1 of my doomsday plan is now complete. Phase 2 hasn't really been worked out yet, but...
Uh-oh, now I don't feel bad that the egg might be wrong. He attempts to use the egg, but finds out that it's actually the fake one, causing a catastrophic meltdown like all the common crystals he had previously tried using, and sends him flying through the air. The end. And I really like a heist-themed episode. Like, it's so clear how this team works well together, and I like that it feels like a kind of break-in like movie. Something very unique for Jimmy Neutron that I didn't expect to be so good. So in 13B The Feud, Jimmy and Carl are playing basketball when Hugh spots Crabgrass.
Crabgrass! The defiler of beloved lawns everywhere. My response must be swift and brutal.
He confronts the Weezers over his missing lawnmower. They argue and even insult each other's lawn decorations. Carl's dad's name is Ebenezer, which is kind of weird. He accidentally breaks Hugh's beloved gnome, Sir Quaxalot. The two become sworn enemies, dragging Jimmy and Carl into the feud.
Carl, this feud can't last forever.
Jimmy tries to stay in touch with Carl using a holographic game, but Hugh shuts it down and bans all contact with him. Oh, this is kind of depressing. Judy tries to fix things by baking a pie for the Weezers, but Carl's dad's allergic, and a shouting match goes on between the moms. So the feud escalates, and now Jimmy's whole family is involved.
Sheen, can you arrange a little get-together with Carl?
You're in luck, Jimmy. I'm having a special this month on super secret meetings. May I suggest a Mexican bandito theme?
So Jimmy turns to Sheen, who sets up a secret meeting with Carl. They build a crabgrass accelerator using Goddard and random parts, cover both lawns with crabgrass so their dads will unite to fight it.
Goodbye, old friend. Avenge you I will!
I can't let my friendship with Jimmy end like this.
Carl, what are you doing? Don't!
But the plan backfires when Carl adds way too much and the crabgrass mutates into giant monsters. But it is sweet seeing him care so much about his relationship with Jimmy that he does all this. The plants attack the boys, forcing Hugh and Ebenezer to step in. They fight the monsters together, saving the kids and finally putting their differences aside, at least for now. So everyone agrees the feud is over for the sake of their kids. Then Sheen reveals that Sam had Hugh's lawn loper the whole time and paid him to deliver a message, which Sheen forgot to do. The group turns on both Hugh and Sheen for causing the chaos, and everybody chases him down in rage. Then we have Out Darn Spotlight. So Principal Willoughby is directing Macbeth in Space, a sci-fi version of Shakespeare's play, which is perfect for Jimmy Neutron.
Bobby, chill!
Chilling. So what part are you gonna try out for, Jim?
I'm not.
Jimmy isn't really interested until Betty Quinlan tries out for Lady Macbeth. So he asks to audition for Macbeth. When Carl mentions the kissing scene, Jimmy decides to join. At home, he practices acting, hoping to land the lead role.
Barry?
Ooh, that was stink-o-rooney, Jimbo. Open up a window.
Phew!
But luckily, I can help you.
Hugh offers him questionable advice, which is super funny seeing him try to give acting advice.
When you want to act mad, do this. Now, if you want to act happy, which is different than mad, go like this. Now, if an anvil drops on your head, you'd go, ah, there's an anvil on my head. Ow, it hurts.
In the end, Jimmy doesn't really get a part. Like, Nick impresses Willoughby and gets cast as Macbeth, Betty lands the role as Lady Macbeth, and everybody else gets a different part.
She said it would be good for my self-esteem!
Ladies and gentlemen, we found our first witch.
Thank you.
Night, I prefer long stem roses with the thorns removed, of course. And
We found our second witch.
A lousy soldier? No way! Forget it! I'm out of here!
He gets to carry a laser spear.
Laser spear?
Principal Willoughby is actually really rude to Sheen. Like, he hates him and he's not apologetic about it, and it's very concerning. And Bowlby does a phenomenal performance, and for some reason he doesn't get a good part. I don't get the casting process.
It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury signifying nothing.
Yeah, sorry, don't see it.
Jimmy doesn't even get a part. He's hired to create special effects on stage crew, and I don't know why there's bashing stage crew here. He agrees, especially when Betty says it sounds cool. But during the romantic rehearsal scene, Jimmy disrupts it with effects, jealous of Nick. Ooh, Jimmy. Right before showtime, Nick actually breaks his leg.
Here comes Nick on his skateboard going really fast and doing some extremely dangerous tricks that could cause him to...
And Jimmy is the only one who knows the lines. He didn't actually want this until Betty encourages him to take it. Sheen, as soldier number 5, forgets a single line and covers it by calling a dramatic pause, which is super funny. I love all the references to Drama Club. Like, this is a really fun concept when shows do this. Meanwhile, Cindy tries to impress a visiting TV producer, Corky Shimizu, by offering a cappuccino during the show, which is not possible. You can't do that. The play continues with a space-themed twist. Macbeth duels Rangun the Space Pirate. As the final scenes approach, Cindy sets off fireworks to show off, and Sheen activates a special effect tornado that spins completely out of control. The tornado wrecks the stage and begins lifting the school into the air, which it becomes a high-stakes stress situation, which is perfect for Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy regains control and lands the school safely. Willoughby scolds Jimmy for ruining the show, but the audience gives a standing ovation. Betty thanks Jimmy with a kiss, making up for the one they missed in the play, and everybody celebrates. Although the school ends up on the top of a snowy mountain, which nobody realized. And this is a weird way to end it. I like how Jimmy Season 2 has a lot more negative endings. Then we have The Junk Man Cometh. So Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen are watching wrestling when Brobot appears on the TV. You remember Brobot from Season 1, Jimmy's little brother that he tried to murder? Yeah, that was him. He claims that the Mooney Men are attacking and begging Jimmy to help. Carl and Sheen push Jimmy to actually go because he doesn't really want to. Come on, Jimmy, that's not nice.
Robot can take care of himself.
I provided him with state-of-the-art self-preservation circuitry.
Jimmy, I forgot to tell you. They've disabled my self-preservation circuitry.
Carl and Sheen only agree to go when they realize they can't use the TV while he's gone. All of them take off in Jimmy's rocket, but Carl and Sheen beg to stay inside once they reach the moon.
How come whenever we're in outer space, we don't gotta wear helmets?
Good question, Sheen. And the answer is quite interesting. You see...
Moon, 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 spoon, 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 June, June, June.
On the moon, a spooky figure approaches, but it's just Brobot in a mask. Jimmy learns that the Mooney Men were fake and Brobot just wanted to play. Annoyed, Jimmy starts to leave, but Brobot guilt trips him into staying. A dark space cloud appears, and Brobot now claims that the Junkman has taken his parents. Like a boy who cried wolf situation.
That's rare this time of year.
Jimmy, help, help!
Now what?
Jimmy, the Junkman is here! He took my parents and sucked them into his ship!
Robot!
Jimmy doesn't believe him and heads home, until the cloud reappears and sucks their ship into it, giving them no option. The boys find themselves on the Junkman ship, where the creepy villain shows off his junk empire and decides to scrap Jimmy's rocket for toilet parts.
How's about this? I keep your toilet rocket and fire you out my airlock,
Cool! We get to get shot out of an airlock!
Sheen, we won't survive being shot into space.
Oh my god, this is getting scary. They're stuck on the moon. His dog Roxy comes in, catches Goddard's attention, and the Junkman imprisons everybody. Inside the cell, the group sees Brobot's cheerful but clueless parents, and Jimmy starts to feel bad for not trusting Brobot.
Jimmy, yoo-hoo!
Look, there's Brobot's parents.
Nice to see you again, Jimmy. How are your folks?
Hello, boys. Great view up here. Wish you could see it.
Will you gearheads pipe down?
Brobot sneaks in and rescues them, having stowed away in the rocket. Jimmy agrees to help him rescue his parents. Finally, Jimmy, why did it take so long? They sneak through the ship while Junkman prepares to sell Brobot's parents to an alien customer.
Just love the word poop deck.
I know what you mean. Can't say poop without saying deck.
Oh, it just trips off the tongue.
Brobot distracts him while Carl and Sheen rescue the parents. Meanwhile, Roxy falls for Goddard and turns against Junkman, tying him up. The Junkman escapes into a pod with Roxy, leaving the ship to crash. Jimmy struggles to steer, but Brobot takes over and saves everybody. Later, back at the moon, everybody relaxes with moon pies, while Jimmy and Brobot play moon tennis, finally bonding like real brothers.
Please, one more time, 2 more times, 3 more, more!
Maybe later.
Now! Come on, it'll be fun!
Aw, this is a good ending, and I like that Brobot comes back. Like, even the original episode wasn't a 2-part, was only a 10-minute segment, and now he's back for a double length, and I like that he's the one who saved the day, because he's a pretty funny character. He kind of reminds me of, like, Cheese from Foster's. Okay, so we have Foul Bull. During a class trip to a rodeo outside of Retroville, Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen fall for the same girl, Sagebrush Sally, and this girl is really sweet.
Arthur! What?
To prove themselves worthy of Sally's heart, each of the boys set out to master a specific rodeo talent, because she's into cowboys. Sheen turns himself into a rodeo clown, Carl wrestles a pig, who easily beats him, but it's Jimmy who actually comes out on top, with his impressive bull riding and foolproof robotic bull, of course.
Sheen, wait! That's not your bull!
Showtime! Less pretending! Sit!
Once the bull malfunctions, Sheen tries to ride it out of jealousy, but the boys need the help of a real cowpoke to save the day. Then that turns out to be Miss Fowl.
What's not safe?
Sally gets angry at Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen for lying and decides to go hang out with Cindy and Libby instead. The boys get confused about what they did wrong and guess this might be why they don't like girls yet. Which, come on guys, this is like the 3rd time you showed interest in girls. So they decide to forget about them, go to the candy bar, and have some purple flirt.
Belch the alphabet!
And fart under our arms like men! Like that! Good one, Carl!
And all around, this is really fun. It takes us to a new location that we don't usually see in Jimmy Neutron, and the fact most of the episode takes place there is really interesting, especially being like a rodeo. Like, the Western vibe is definitely a good contrast for the boy genius. Next we have Science Fair Affair. It's the annual school science fair, and Jimmy plans to win again this year with his new invention called I Can't Believe It's Not Oil 9000, which vacuums any garbage in sight and turns it all into oil, which is, oh, that's gonna really help the world, Jimmy. I actually like that idea.
See? I told you garbage could be mulched into a clean burning oil substitute.
No, you didn't.
Oh.
But Jimmy can't enter it this year because Cindy leads a campaign to ban him from all the school science fairs forever, which is super fair. And I don't know why forever is a big deal, Jimmy. You're probably in the school for like less than another year.
The case of Vortex versus Neutron is now in session!
Cindy Vortex, present your case.
Hello, classmates. I ask you, do you have the faintest hope of winning this year's science fair?
No.
And who do you think will win the science fair?
Jimmy.
And what makes you think that?
Well, he's won the last 3, and he's a total genius.
But he is obviously victimized, saying it's unfair, and he's just angry about it. And it's kind of true, like, Jimmy, you're a little bit of a genius. Like, I don't know if it's fair to have you enter with all these non-geniuses. But the science fair continues as planned, with Principal Willoughby, Sam, Corky Shimatsu, and Miss Fowl are the judges, which, what a random group of people. Why do you guys do this? So we got the kids' science projects, like Sheen, he has this starving iguana, Carl has a potato launcher, Libby has a mood CD player, and Cindy has a sweat sock transmogrifier.
I'm perfectly capable of fixing my own invention! Oh, okay, fix it! Hurry!
And of course the judges decide that Cindy is the winner. But Jimmy tries to steal the spotlight for a moment when his oil-generating machine actually earns him the Nobel Prize for Science, which, woohoo, 5th grade, see, that's why you're not in the competition, Jimmy.
I can explain, son. You see, you were feeling so glum about not being in the science fair that I sent your blueprints to the Nobel Prize folks.
Bulby, however, intervenes and shows off his mud maker, which drenches Hugh, Willoughby, and Svensson. The oil machine mistakes everybody covered in mud as garbage and sucks them inside to be turned into oil. Oh my gosh. Jimmy can't kill the switch because it's stuck in the toggle position. Jimmy tries to hold the machine back so it doesn't actually hurt anybody, and does that. Cindy organizes a plan to have Carl, Sheen, and Libby use their science projects to all stop Jimmy's invention. Lars Svensson is angered by the flaw in Jimmy's machine and takes back the Nobel Prize, which is kind of sad, and it's Bulby's fault, not Jimmy's. Principal Willoughby awards the trophy to Carl, Sheen, and Libby for saving everybody, which irritates Cindy, of course, as she orchestrated the plan. Jimmy tries to give Cindy reassurance that her efforts have been saved by everybody, and that's more rewarding than anything else. But Cindy responds to this by stuffing Jimmy into a giant sweater.
Don't worry, Jimmy. I saw everything. We'll see you in court. Don't make me habeas your corporate.
And this one is really cool. I feel like you get a chance to really see the characters act out on their raw emotions, and seeing them so hostile toward each other is very interesting to me. Now for episode number 16, let's take a moment of respectful silence for one of the greatest crossovers of all time. Are you over it? Okay, cool, let's move on. Then we have Men at Work. See, this one is really fun because I've always wanted to get a job at that age, even though I think they're 11 or 12. It's so illegal for Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen to work at this.
The equipment I'd need to make enough gold to replace this stuff would take a ton of money.
We can sell our bodies to science.
You have to be dead to do that.
Okay, Mr. Negative.
So to raise money for his inventions, Jimmy decides that he, Sheen, and Carl should be getting jobs. Skeet, who is an employee at the month and a manager at McSpanky's, hires Sheen and Carl, but doesn't think Jimmy's the McSpanky type. Ooh, disrespectful.
I'll start you on the register and see where it goes. Can you all start today?
Yeah! Now about our pay.
Minimum.
We'll take it!
But he does agree to try Jimmy out. Carl and Sheen really enjoy their positions and are even really good at it.
Give me a cow and an earthquake, a dancing albino with a heart condition, and a baby in a rickshaw.
Coming at ya!
But Jimmy doesn't follow the rules. He talks back to Skeet and is not pleased with the humiliating work he has to do. So he takes it upon himself to show everybody what he's capable of, making McSpanky's a fully automated and hygienic place.
And there's your order, completely customized in 45 seconds flat.
Delicious.
Customers are happy, satisfaction goes up. If they aren't, it corrects the problem.
So everything's smooth sailing and the restaurant keeps its rating at very satisfied until Hugh and Judy show up to support Jimmy.
Dude, the meter's heading south.
What's going on?
Oh, and they have the best theme song. I think I'll sing it now. Taco Shack, you'll eat cheese until you yak.
But Hugh prefers Taco Shack, which causes the approval rating of the restaurant to drop, making it shake too, which is kind of scary. It takes away everybody's tables of food. Principal Willoughby is there and he announces it's the Burgergeddon, and Sam yells everybody out and everybody runs out of the restaurant screaming. But Hugh doesn't care because...
What's happening, Hugh?
Who cares? We're going to Taco Shack!
The restaurant head then grows in size and starts flying like a UFO, and it's really disturbing looking. It looks like Night of the Living Dummy or something. Jimmy, Sheen, and Carl follow it in Jimmy's hovercraft to determine what it's doing, and as they see it destroy Taco Shack and Food Sauce, as well as other food restaurants, it seems like it wants to be the only restaurant left in Retroville.
That Pizza Clown, too?
Hard left! We can still make it to the Big Pilgrim for a Miles sandwich and a Pocahontas.
Jimmy tries to shoot Mr. Spanky's down, but it fires back and heads toward the supermarket. It's going to destroy more than just restaurants. It's going to destroy everything that sells food. So Jimmy rearranges Goddard's taste buds and tricks it into placing an order for 4 McSpanky's deluxe burgers cooked at 20,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which would be enough to mess it up.
McSpanky's has no choice but to fill that order.
Well, in that case, give me a curly fries and a McSpanky pie.
2, please.
The restaurant then flies into one place in the galaxy so it can attain that temperature, the sun. But it burns up upon impact, and it successfully is stopped from destroying any more businesses. Oh man, but there's a lot of rebuilding to do here. They end up finding Skeet's Employee of the Month picture under the rubble, and they assume it was the captain of this place, and set off to find him, which is a really fun ending. Okay, so in this one, the episode starts with Hugh and Judy packing up to go to the Burning Duck Festival, which sounds like a really dark gathering. They tell Jimmy that he has to stay at the Weezers. At first, he's really excited until the Weezers put germ-destroying lotion on him. Oh my gosh.
Are you guys all right?
Just limbering up the old GI tract, Jimbo. It keeps your digestion loose and gas-free.
So then they start doing a lot of stuff that Jimmy thinks is just like plain boring. And then when it's time to go for bed, Jimmy can't sleep because it's like super early at night.
Boys, sleep tight now.
But it's only 7:30.
Nah, Jimmy. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man less prone to bronchial infection. Night, kids.
And then the Weezers snore super loudly. So Jimmy goes to his lab to create a pill that will stop them from snoring, but that's not the only thing it does. So when Carl wakes up, he discovers he doesn't need his glasses, and he can do finger push-ups, and Carl's parents are super strong now. So it's like they essentially turned into superheroes.
Chow down, son. It's fabulous.
Carl starts to climb up walls, jump over buildings, and his parents are eating foods they were never able to eat because of their allergies. So they decide to climb Mount Incredibly Unstable, which is a crazy name for a mountain, that nobody has ever survived from. And isn't this animation like so cool? I feel like they're going all Dragon Ball Z on this part. When they reach the top of the mountain, the pill wears off and they start to fall in actual danger. Jimmy saves them, but the rock they were standing on rolls down the hill and is about to destroy everyone at the Burning Duck Festival. Jimmy uses his tractor beam and has Sheen tilt the hovercraft so the desert sand blows in the face of the Weezers, who are allergic to salt, and their sneezes will actually stop the rock just in time from crashing and ruining the festival.
Out of sight! You totally blew my mind, Weezers!
Oh, are you all right, sweetie?
Sure, Mom.
Hugh invites them to participate in the festival, and the episode ends with them all singing together while Mount Incredibly Unstable crumples in the background. Oh my gosh. For 18A, we start with Jimmy versus Cindy in a kite competition battle. Jimmy defeats Cindy in the semifinals, and then it's Jimmy's turn against Eustace Stretch, an extremely rich and snobby kid.
Stretch, you nattering nabob! Eustace Stretch!
Oh, Stretch. No one cares yet.
At the end of the kite battle, Eustace is defeated and Jimmy wins the battle. Eustace invites Jimmy and his friends to his house, which Jimmy refuses at first, but eventually only comes because of Cindy.
Make the necessary preparations. We'll need to entertain this rabble properly.
Also, Hugh deems it rude for Jimmy not to accept, so whatever. Little did they know, this is a part of an evil plan for Eustace to get back at Jimmy.
Glad to know you. Glad to know you. Say, you look like a golf man. You know, I'm more of a duck guy. I love ducks.
At Eustace's house, he starts to give everybody various gifts: a holographic boy band for Libby, Ultra Lord Power Glove for Sheen, and a cloned llama for Carl. Jeez, all these people are easily influenced.
Used gym shorts?
My old spaz. Thought your wardrobe needed touching up. Laugh with me, everyone. Laugh with me.
Which makes him very angry as everybody laughs at him. Aww. Meanwhile, Hugh is having purple flirt with Eustace's dad, who admits that he's a horrible dad and lives in fear of his son. But Hugh gives Mr. Stretch a few pointers, most notably setting limits and continuing.
We find it helps to set limits, like no space travel on school nights, or no teleporting your mother.
And that works? Incredible. Tell me more about these limits.
Sure.
When they challenge him to a robot battle, he doesn't have the guts to use Goddard against Eustace's RA multi-unit, which is like a robotic cat. So then of course he keeps pushing Jimmy until he accepts.
You're on, Stretch. Don't worry, boy. You'll beat him easy.
Let the game begin.
The robot pets fight, and Goddard takes out an antenna-like weapon. To everybody's surprise, the robot takes out the exact same weapon, and Jimmy is like, oh my gosh, it can copy any weapon and hurl it back tenfold.
You can't do this!
Be gone. I've no further use for Neutron's squeeze.
So Jimmy orders Goddard to run, but it begins to fly as well. So Goddard's in danger. Jimmy realizes what he must do to win the battle and tells Goddard to play dead. So Goddard does so via blowing himself up. And he didn't account for that Eustace's was not planned for that. So he actually blows up. Goddard then reassembles himself, and Eustace is out a kitty, and it remains destroyed.
For this Neutron, I will pursue you with everlasting vengeance!
Eustace promises to pursue Jimmy with everlasting vengeance. However, his father steps in and takes Hugh's advice, giving his son a timeout.
Now you'll pay.
Uh-oh, that's a timeout. Right. This. Take Eustace to his room so he can, think.
Which is the beginning of something new for this family. And this is a really sweet episode because Jimmy's apologizing to Goddard for using him, and Hugh's advice actually makes a difference in someone else's life, as opposed to the advice he keeps giving to Jimmy, which is not helpful. And all around, just a really fun episode with a really interesting villain. I almost like him a little bit better than the rich kid in Fairly Odd Parents. But yeah, those were a majority of season 2. Now the final 3 episodes are all combined, so let's get into it. Jimmy Neutron is a really great show. Despite only having 3 seasons, they actually had a numerous amount of specials. And it's weird because Nickelodeon would do this thing where they'd have a season of quote-unquote 20 episodes, but 3 or 4 of those would be 2 or even 3-part episodes. A good example would be Danny Phantom's second season had 2 or 3 of the 20 episodes being specials. And it's not so different from Jimmy Neutron. We've unpacked a lot in the first season retrospective, but the second season is where things get really intense, and for the most part becomes more relationship heavy, and not in a bad way. Like, Jimmy still keeps his inventions, he still keeps the funny comedic moments, and it just gets better and better as it goes along. And this special is no exception, because not only is it a special, it's a 3-part special, which, as you know, I qualify as essentially a movie, despite the fact it's not in theaters. It's got all the elements of a really good movie: a great script, fun comedic beats, relationship development, and even a guest star? Tim Allen is in this. Why? Oh yeah, because it's a good movie. But without spoiling any more, let's dive into the second season finale, Jimmy Neutron's Win, Lose, or Kaboom. What's up, everybody? It's Johnny 2000, focusing on TV, music, media, and everything that has to do with the 2000s. And today we're jumping in to Jimmy Neutron. Now, before we jump into the entire plot, I wish I could just riff for hours about this opening sequence. Like, I just love that it's just a space rock going through space, and all the credits are getting listed. It definitely gives me the feel of a realistic movie. Otherwise, why would you waste the first 2 minutes of this thing saying who's involved? Unless you're really proud of it. Okay, mysterious space rocks are falling into several different planets. All these different species are being interrupted by this message, supposedly. One falls on Earth. We're interrupting a moment where him and Cindy are going over their friend contracts.
Simply says that while you may be a genius, I I wipe the floor with you in things like people skills and taekwondo.
And this is such a funny start. And we also get a really cute moment between Sheen and Libby, who have actually got their relationship together, so they deserve to be acknowledged for it.
Sheen, do you have a temperature?
Yes, I'm a red hot tamale ever since I sent away with this booklet in the back of Dingo Man Comics.
I feel like they're one of the more cuter cartoon couples because they've kind of led up to this moment, and just these two toward each other are very supportive. Like, Libby is very entertained by Sheen's stupidity, and Sheen is very appreciative of Libby, so it's nice to see something not toxic. As Timmy's about to sign this treaty with Cindy, there is a blaring alarm to show that something is wrong, so Jimmy has to gather Sheen and Carl and quickly head back to his lab. Neutron tries to go with them, but he's very clearly left out.
You better let me come alongside, it could be dangerous.
Sorry, no can do. The extra weight will slow down my rocket.
Yeah, but what?
And as Jimmy is heading to figure out what's up, the entire US military is also trying to figure it out. And they kind of belittle Jimmy as they're both flying in their rockets trying to see the discrepancy from space.
This is Jimmy Neutron. Don't shoot that rock!
Out of the way, flyboy.
No, you don't understand. It contains an important message for Earth.
Yeah, well, here's my message. Eat lead, space rock.
And I love the dynamic between this little kid and the entire US government. It's just something that, like, you really relate to when you're watching it as a kid, and then also, like, as an adult, really respect the fact that he is not condescending, despite the fact the adults are kind of condescending to Jimmy. So Space Rock is actually about to crash into Jimmy's house when Hugh comes outside, and luckily he stops it just in time.
Honey, call the chiropractor.
But that's not the end of the government. Nope, they have a town hall in Retroville where they're discussing what to do about this foreign space rock. Well, the mayor asks what they should do with it. Most agree on destroying it, but Jimmy shows up in time and explains the history of the rock.
Carl, Sheen, show the first slide.
Ow, shit, I'm right next to you!
Apparently, since 1511, rocks with strange symbols have fallen from the sky. Every rock that landed on Earth over the last 500 years was destroyed before science had a chance to study them. Although Cindy feels like nobody should mess with it, as they learn from the Yokian incident not to talk to intergalactic strangers.
Neutron, I thought you agreed I have valuable contributions to make. Yeah, but thanks. You won't be sorry. Fellow townspeople, my friend Jimmy is a genius, and his plan makes a lot of sense. But I'm not convinced.
Although initially complied with the idea of studying the rock, the town instead votes, with Cindy's encouragement. Jesus, Cindy, why? You guys were just trying to be friends. To make the zone into a tourist attraction after being reminded of Jimmy's mistake talking to the intergalactic strangers. Oh my god, how many times is this going to be reminded? So Jimmy knows a message is on the rock, and he just wants to decode it, but nobody wants him to. General Abercrombie takes it away, and I forgot about this name.
Jimmy Neutron, this is General Abercrombie, and I order you to step away from the rock.
Well, generally, it's a message to us from space.
I don't care if you're gonna dress it up and take it slow dancing. It's strange and unfamiliar, so we have to destroy it.
Abercrombie and Fitch is such a popular clothing brand. It's just so funny to think that there's a general of whatever police force that's named after the retail brand. So Jimmy pulls his dog's tail and shoots a locating device. When looking at the stone in his lab, Jimmy is able to decode the language into a riddle. In the dark, they arrive without being fetched. In the light, they are lost without being stolen. Ooh, really deep.
Call Cindy and Libby and tell them to meet us at the army base at 2100.
2100? But that's decades from now.
It means 9 o'clock.
Oh, that's better for me.
So he concocts a plan to actually head to the military base and solve the riddle. Luckily, Cindy, Libby, Carl, and Sheen join him on this journey, as they have this really intense break-in montage that's actually really cinematic. We see Jimmy freezing guards and jumping over walls through laser beams. I really wish this section had like a full 5-minute scene, because this is done in the Muppet movie too, and it's actually really good. Who doesn't love a good heist montage starring the Jimmy Neutron cast? And even Cindy flying? When they get in, they are surprised to see Bulby.
What are you doing here?
Bulby worship giant space rock. Bulby spiritual.
Well, how did you... Never mind.
Once Jimmy decodes the message and answers its riddle, The military come just in time to stop him, but just when we think that's the biggest threat, he and his friends are abducted and taken into the depths of space. Later, the cast find themselves in this alien-like chasm, only to find out that this is a game show. A spotlight comes on and we have a game show host, played by Tim Allen, come in. A life-threatening game show, Intergalactic Showdown, hosted by Meldar Prime.
The Rock indicated a cultured, highly advanced society.
Whoop, 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 booyah!
So Meldar is played by Tim Allen, and he is threatening to blow up whichever planet loses. Earth is one of the people. The first opponents are the Gorloks. The host announces the first game to be Smorgasball. The rules are surprisingly similar to that game in Harry Potter.
You've never heard of Florgasball? What, you people live in a cave?
Meanwhile, Hugh has gotten this TV that has all the channels in the galaxy, even the one that allows them to watch this event. So soon, all the kids' parents gather in Hugh's living room to watch and cheer on these kids, and I mean cheer on as in hope they survive.
I can see every bead of sweat on your terrified son's face, Weezer.
Finally, they lose the battle all because of Jimmy's selfishness. In the next competition, it seems like a surefire win as the humans are versing the Needleheads, and they have to search for this cute little thing in a cave. We learn that it's not so cute, and it breathes fire, and even Goddard can't stop him. Suddenly, the Needleheads turn out to be really good at this, and we're really scared for the Earthlings' chances at this competition. We have a really funny talking head where we get to see the perspective of all the characters, and I love that this is included. Like, this is not done in any other episode of Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. This is a man's planet. Like I was saying to my chickie babe Libby earlier, Cupcake, I said, just sit back, let your big strong hunk of man take care of you, right?
That's it. Stop the camera.
As they lose the competition, it's time to vote out one of the weaker players in more of a Survivor-like setup. They're taken to this island where they get to sleep, and this is not good. There's a lot of tension here. Throughout the first two events, Jimmy feels like he can single-handedly win without allowing his friends to help. So he causes his teammates to lose them, thus almost getting Earth destroyed by Meldar and forcing the gang to vote off somebody. Jimmy forms a secret alliance with one named April. They become friends and start to develop some feelings for each other as they meet in their secret plot to attack. Ooh, there's a lot of relationship issues going on, Jimmy and Cindy. I guess we start off with a complicated note in this film of the two having an agreement on being friends, but now it just seems to escalate. Their survival like tribe council, Jimmy feels useless since he caused them to lose both games, and Jimmy, Cindy, and Bolby are tied to be the ones voted out.
And the first person voted off your team will be...
In the end, Bolby is eliminated in a 2-2-3 vote, and they are surprised to see that Bolby voted himself out. I love this character, he's so funny. So he is kept in the Cell of Indignity, which turns out to be Dignity, until the end of the game.
Probably being horribly tormented right now.
A little to the left.
Next, the gang competes with the Needleheads, which is, how is this a race? In an eating competition. One of the Needleheads gets his head blown up after eating a banana cream pie. Jimmy wants to go for his team, confident that he can get the wheel to stop on a banana cream pie again, but the others convince him to send Carl because he can stomach anything.
All right, I'll do it for the llamas and Jimmy's mom.
Carl gets an alien dish, and he actually likes it, and it's disturbing because this is disgusting. Team Earth wins.
Oh, this is wonderful!
The special is really good at making us feel like we are on a desolate island in space, and I'm like rooting for our characters because our planet feels so small, and to think that it would be in the hands of like 5 elementary school kids is really concerning.
Keep watching, Hugh. We need to know what's happening with the children.
You can count on me. Just as soon as I make some bean dip.
So after the event, April and Jimmy meet, and Jimmy decides to help April stop Meldar from destroying all the planets. April kisses Jimmy Oh my gosh, the first shot of an actual relationship on this show. This is crazy. Which is a sign of trust in her culture. Which, oh my gosh, can you imagine? Like, if that was your culture, like, I would be so uncomfortable going to school. Like, saying hi to the teachers, the faculty. Oh my god, weird. Cindy misinterprets this as them making out and gets actually pretty jealous. She prepares to actually start a fight, but is interrupted by April's father.
Are you alright, Cindy?
Like you care! Go check on your green girlfriend!
She's not my girlfriend!
We're tearing each other apart!
Then the next game is a race against the brains.
And these guys are already making me really uncomfortable. Like, look at the way they're expressing themselves.
Goddard's disqualified from the race as Meldar forbids the teams to cheat. Even though they let brains do it, it's not fair. The gang runs to see a shortcut sign, which leads to the finish line. Cindy asks why there would be such a clearly labeled shortcut, but Jimmy dismisses her, says trust me. Okay, Jimmy, this is not off to a positive start. They foolishly run to the shortcut and are instantly zapped back to their hometown, but it's not really hometown. It's Retroville, but it's like a really purgatory dream world Retroville.
The whole town is empty.
Guys, check out the street signs.
They're blank. All of them.
But at least the new daytime moon is pretty.
They're sent back to their city and everything looks different and unusual. They notice that Bulby and Goddard are still missing from the team. They hear voices that are haunted and strange in the candy bar. Oh my god, this feels like actually Five Nights at Freddy's. Is anybody getting that vibe? Which are the voices of their parents calling their children's names. Oh my gosh. Their parents emerge from behind the counter of the store and their eyes are delirious and wild. And then they start to chant this word, eat and forget, and it's really uncomfortable. Sam serves the ice cream to Carl and Sheen, while Libby complains the ice cream tastes like sheetrock, not to be confused with dry sheet walls, and Carl eventually eats it too. Their parents walk slowly like zombies, continuing to chant, eat and forget, and they run away. It's like a horror film. As they leave the candy bar, everything is now devoid of the parts of the city except the candy bar.
What do we do, Jimmy?
I don't know. Unless we can break their hold on us, we're completely at the brain's mercy.
Forget. They're coming! I say we jump. Maybe the shock will wake us up.
They have no choice but to leap into the chasm to escape the hypnosis. After escaping the hypnosis, the kids see that the brains are about to win, but Jimmy realizes they can still win if they help each other and to be a team player. Jimmy finally has a moment where he attempts to sacrifice himself for the group to be able to go through to the finish line, which is definitely a good character development. Congratulations, Jimmy. And Cindy tries to deny it, but they end up doing it anyway and they complete the race.
I knew you were going to say that.
Oh, did you really?
Yes, because you always do.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
Jimmy and the gang are then tied for the lead with the Gorlocks. In the trivia showdown, Meldar gets Goddard back to Jimmy. Papa Gorlock beats Jimmy to the smashing of the gong of trivia, but answers the question incorrectly.
Why do the Krexels of Remnion 8 cross the ice caps of Merbior?
To get to the other side?
So Jimmy can come up and have a chance to answer. And just at this time, all the parents finally get the portal working to exactly where the TV show is being held.
All right, everyone, who wants nachos?
3!
Nachos!
And of course, Hugh Neutron happens to be the first one to enter it. Out of the blue, Hugh falls into the scene. And this is super unexpected because obviously that isn't the reality they're in.
Your mom got your wormhole thingy running, and I saved the nachos.
Well, interesting.
And having watched so many alien TV shows, becomes the team's lifeline and answers Jimmy's question for him. Did not see this coming at all.
How many evil twins were hatched from Dakota's birth sac on the popular daytime drama Andromeda 90210?
So now it looks like Hugh had an actual reason to be watching all those daytime dramas on the different channels. This causes Jimmy's team to win the new space car, and the Earth can be salvaged. Unfortunately, though, the other planets are going to be blown up, and the losing teams are being forced to watch. If this were a normal cartoon, the episode could end here. But since this is going by feature-length structure rules, it's only the end of the second act. So this is a long journey to undo all the damage that had just happened.
That's it? You kidnap us into space, threaten to blow up Earth, and you think you can make it right by giving us this stupid car?
Maybe you'd like me to destroy your planet anyway.
No! The car's fine.
Yeah, we love the car.
I thought not.
As they exit the planet, not wanting to break his promise to April, and starts to feel bad, needing to convince everybody to go back to the game show. Jimmy refuses to let Meldar blow up the other planets, so he and his friends decide to do the right thing and end Meldar's show forever. And these poor other species, can you imagine your planet's about to be blown up and you had a bunch of people that was also going to have the same thing happen? I mean, I would relate to the other people, I guess.
Who wants to join me in the big countdown?
This guy is destructive. I can't see any redeeming qualities for this game show host, and I kind of want to hear his backstory. It's just interesting how Tim Allen can play such a heartless, ruthless alien game show host. Like, why is he doing it so well? It's almost a red flag. Sheen interrupts the big video feed. Really nonsensical hand puppet.
Fellow aliens, attention! We interrupt this program to bring you an important news bulletin.
After using Goddard to interfere with Meldar's technology, Jimmy's space car shoots a blue missile at Meldar, seemingly crushing him, but he returns momentarily and summons an army of robots to Flarguy and Vandana to prevent them from doing anything to his show. Jimmy gives a really empowering speech on why everybody needs to work together, and if they could just shut down the mainframe, they could stop the entire show. But obviously everybody kind of wants to seek help for themselves. But it's good that Jimmy actually came back, like he won, so you guys need to be more considerate. Like, he's able to give up his home planet to help the greater good. Why aren't you guys?
I am with the Earth Boy! Who's up for putting Intergalactic Showdown out of business?
I'm in. Kids?
I'm in! Yeah!
We are swayed by your logic.
Meldar transforms Bandana into a fierce fighting machine. And this is actually one of the funniest action scenes I feel like I've seen in any cartoon, where all these characters are just attacking each other in wacky ways. Like, you could even see Carl running. Like, he's not even being helpful in this moment. Meanwhile, Jimmy is trying to use Goddard to stop everything. Jimmy notices that Meldar is actually able to stop a really powerful blow, and he notices that he's able to do it through these little diamonds he has on his wrists. And just as Meldar is about to corner Jimmy and fully take him out for good, Carl swoops in on this bug robot thing and throws a pie in his face. Yeah, I'm sure that's definitely gonna defeat him. Jimmy turns the table on this guy by using his diamonds against him, finally defeating him once and for all. April gives him a kiss and says that it's not just a custom, this one is actually a kiss, which is kind of funny.
All right, time to go home, kid. Sorry, Carl, but you know the Florgus grease does the interior, you can't come.
Hugh Neutron is ready to go, and everybody says their goodbyes as they fly off and say goodbye to the rest of the species and fly into space. Meldar gets his comeuppance as there's a game show where he's essentially just constantly being zapped. And it's being watched by Hugh and Judy in the living room, and it's kinda dark. I don't know if you just want to watch people being tortured. But then again, I would argue that this is social commentary on what reality television really is. It is just people getting tortured on TV with other people watching, and really the only way you can defeat such a evil propaganda is by working together and overcoming the programming. I mean, that's just me going off on a tangent.
Have I shown you my favorite channel?
Low gravity snuggling from Venus?
Come here, you.
Ew, I don't want to see what's going on behind closed doors, and why did Hugh just quack? Oh, and look, there's another scene. Okay, wasn't expecting this. Everybody's at the candy bar. Sam's giving Carl some nice ice cream, and Libby and Sheen are back together. I like the callback to the first scene of this special.
Hey there, sweet cakes. You're kind of cute.
No.
As Jimmy and Cindy are still working on their contract.
You know, Neutron, this is kind of like our version of the Gorlakin Seal of Trust.
Huh? Oh, well, maybe from a certain point of view, I guess.
And they're actually about to kiss, being interrupted once again by a new space rock. Oh, it's a message from April. That's cute. What if every time I sent you a text and you sent me a text, a giant space rock went to deliver it? How inconvenient would that be? Oh my gosh, Jimmy is such a playboy in this episode. He's been with everybody. Cindy walks off really annoyed, and that's fair. The end. Jimmy, I know you're not trying to reply to that text message. Jimmy. So this episode was produced in season 3, but it was later tacked on in season 2 instead. The last challenge of the show is a parody of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and the contestant screen resembles the original interface from that actual show. And there were even more fun references to really cool reality TV shows in addition to game shows, like that Survivor reference where the kids are voting each other out. Like, I thought that was super fun. Not only is this 3-part special super fun and follow a really clear and well put together screenplay format, but it's also super funny, entertaining, and they're able to fit in so much character development. Like, everything that was introduced in that Valentine's Day episode we talked about a while ago is continued here, and it's obvious that it was supposed to be in the 3rd season. And Hugh playing a big part in this special even just solidifies how good the show is. It seems like the writers and producers of Jimmy Neutron figured out everything that worked and crammed it into this one specific special. Unlike the original movie and everything, like, they've tested everything, and this is the ultimate way of showing how good the show is. One of my favorite parts is definitely the action sequence in the first act of this. Like, everything doesn't have to be as funny as it is, but even the action scenes are entertaining to watch, and as somebody who hates action, it's just entertaining. So yeah, overall, if you haven't seen Win, Lose, Kaboom, you definitely have to. I wish Nickelodeon promoted this more. I wish this was somehow in the theaters, but you know, that's not the times we're living in anymore, and it wasn't back then either. Well, that was a really interesting season. We got introduced to some of the best villains in all of television, in my opinion. Like, Eustace was really interesting. We got those 3 alien dudes that came in. There were just so many surprises, twists, and turns. But more importantly, a lot of laughs and a lot of weird things happening. Jimmy Neutron took a turn this season that I never expected it to take. Whether it was his inventions, his relationships with the Weezers and Sheen, or even just dealing with his own ego. Like, Jimmy Neutron was peak in this season. I remember all these episodes like the back of my hand. And I would say even the strongest episodes throughout this whole thing. But yeah, what did you guys remember from the season of Jimmy Neutron? Remember, there's only one more season after this. Like, this show was really not that long, and this was the bulkiest part of the series. So we're about to wind down on the complete Jimmy Neutron retrospectives. How do you guys feel? Is there more stuff you want to talk about with these episodes? Please don't forget to comment. Join my community of 2000s content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you guys again soon. Have a great day.